My name is Phil Kitesley. I'm a fire officer from Egbert in Liverpool.
I'm Carol Moffat. I'm a computer analyst from Cardiff.
My name is Philip Smith. I am a youth service team leader from Hayford.
I'm Fiona Palmer, a nursery nurse from Ilkeston in Derbyshire.
Good evening, welcome to the Krypton Factor and to Heat 2 in Group B. Remember, there are 3 heats in each group, with 3 winners and the highest scoring runner-up going through to the group final. And the winner of that group final goes into the grand final, just 1 step away from the title United Kingdom Superperson 1989. Now, for all you aircraft simulator enthusiasts, we're flying the Hawk Fighter tonight, and I can promise you some real thrills there, not to mention a few spills on the assault course. But we'll begin with our mental challenge right after I've wished the very best of luck to Phil Kiteley, Carol Moffat, Phil Smith and Fiona Palmer. And contestants, would you all now please put your headphones on and prepare for round 1, mental agility. Tonight we return to famous sayings for our mental agility test. I will give each contestant a series of well-known phrases like, for example, "Wherefore art thou Romeo?" Then I'll ask questions about it, like, what is the word 2 before the word ending in O? And the answer is art, because the word that ends in O is Romeo, and 2 words before Romeo is art. As usual, it's a speed test. We're going to begin with you, Phil, and your phrase is, has anyone here seen Kelly? Your 40 seconds start now. What's the last letter in the sentence?
Y.
What's the 5th letter in the sentence?
N.
What's the whole quote backwards?
Kelly's seen, here, anyone has.
The second word spelt backwards?
E-N-O-Y-N-A.
The middle word in the sentence?
Seen.
Wrong. How many different letters in the second word?
5.
The last letters of each word?
S-E-E-N-Y.
Right. Well, you got it right in the end, but alas, the buzzer came in between. But you got 5 right in 40 seconds, which is a good start, Phil. Well done. And on we go to Carol. And your phrase is, keep the home fires burning. Your 40 seconds, Carol, start now. What's the first letter of the sentence?
K.
What's the last vowel?
I.
What's the whole quote backwards?
Burning fires home the keep.
What's the middle word of the sentence?
Home.
The 5th word spelt backwards?
G-N-I-N-R-U-B.
How many different letters in the first 2 words together?
5.
The last letters of each word?
P-E-S. P-E-E-S-G.
The 4th letter of the 3rd word? Don't need to answer it. Would have been E, but great start for you, Carol. In 40 seconds, 7 right. Well done. On we go to Phil, and your phrase is, Big Brother is watching you. And your 40 seconds start now. What's the first vowel in the sentence?
I.
What's the 4th letter in the sentence?
B.
What's the whole quote backwards?
You watching is Brother Big.
What's the middle word in the sentence?
Is.
The second word spelt backwards?
R-E-H-O-R-B.
No, you missed a T in the middle.
Yeah.
The last letters of each word?
G-R-S-G-U.
How many different letters in the first and last words together?
6.
The middle letter of the second word?
C.
Wrong. How many letters in third and fourth? Your time's up, Phil. Well done, good start. In 40 seconds, you got 6 right. And now, finally, Fiona, your phrase is last refuge of a scoundrel, and your 40 seconds start now. The last letter in the sentence?
L.
The third letter in the sentence?
S.
The whole quote backwards.
Scoundrel, A of, refuge last.
The middle word.
Of.
The second word spelt backwards.
EGUFER.
The last letter of each word.
TEFAL.
How many different letters in the second word?
6.
Wrong. The fourth letter of the last word.
U.
How many letters in the last word? Don't need to answer that. It would have been 9, but excellent. In 40 seconds, Fiona, you've scored 7. Well done. Well, I don't know how they cope with that round right at the start of a programme. You really need to control your nerves. Great scoring there, and we'll add all those points into the scoreboard right now. And there you are. We have joint leaders with Krypton factors of 10, the computer analyst from Cardiff, Carol Moffat, and the nursery nurse from Ilkeston, Fiona Palmer. One of the world's most successful jet trainers, the British Aerospace Hawk, made famous by the RAF's crack Red Arrows team. In round 2, we challenge our contestants to land it in the highly sophisticated £8 million simulator based in Lancing, West Sussex. The instructor and judge for this round is Flight Lieutenant Jim Gosling of 151 Squadron.
You don't have to worry about the throttle. I'll take care of that, so you don't have to worry about the airspeed either.
First to go is Liverpool Fire Officer Phil Kitely, and it's a nighttime approach over the sea into Hong Kong Airport. Now, Phil's approach has been fairly steady, but this is the moment that his nerve must hold as that runway starts to rush up at him. He's doing pretty well, slightly right of centre. The controls of this plane very sensitive, so he mustn't let that nose drop at all. And it's just beginning to drop now and needs to pull it back, and he's not pulling back enough, and he's into the runway. That's a crash. What a pity, because he almost got away with it. Bad luck, Phil. Next, carrying Welsh hopes, Carol Moffat, deciding to use both hands to control that so sensitive joystick or control column. Just the slightest nudge, left or right for direction, forward or back for height, is all you need. And, well, she's overdoing it a bit somewhat. Very tense, Carol, and in some trouble at the moment. So desperately trying to sort this situation out. But it doesn't look good, and disastrous in fact, but at least you can see the funny side of it. Now, is anyone going to land it? At the controls now, Hereford's Phil Smith, also from Wales. Like the others, he'll have had a period of instruction from Flight Lieutenant Gosling and a couple of practice runs to get the feel of the plane, but now he's on his own. Now, the approach has been pretty good, but can he set it down on this runway? He drops the nose, which he mustn't do, and he immediately pulls back, and up comes the nose too far. He's just overreacting all the time, and he still hasn't set it down the runway. Here we go now, though, and, oh, that's hard, and he's bounced up back into the sky. We're airborne again, and I fear this is going to be a disaster. The nose goes right down, and here we go, right into the concrete, and bad luck, Phil, but at least he did touch down for a few moments. Finally, Fiona Palmer, a nursery nurse, looking a bit apprehensive, but who can blame her? So far, so good, though, nicely controlled. And remember, she only has to look after direction and height. The power is taken care of by Flight Lieutenant Gosling. Now, these final moments, can she get it down? She's just a bit low at the moment. Needs to pull the nose up a fraction as she comes in over those threshold lights, and still needs to get that nose up, and she's not doing it. Oh, and that's a crash. So close. Hard luck. But as all four crashed, Flight Lieutenant Gosling judged the contestants solely on their approach to the runway. In fourth place, Carol Moffat, whose flight was very erratic. Third, Phil Kitely, who approached slightly right and dropped the nose too far. Phil Smith, who achieved a brief touchdown, and Fiona Palmer were judged equal best and share first place. So the points won there go into the scoreboard, and we now have a clear leader with a maximum Krypton factor so far of 20. It's Ilkeston's Fiona Palmer. Into round 3 then, the test of observational skills. We're about to show you and our contestants a sketch specially written and shot for the programme. You'll see it only once, and in the course of that sketch there will be 6 deliberate continuity errors. The challenge is to spot them all, whether they're changes to costume or props that shouldn't have happened, or obvious dialogue inaccuracies. So, contestants, turn to your screens now, please. Concentrate very hard on Steve Coogan's multi-character tribute to the comics.
Right on, yes, indeed. Bit of satire, bit of alternative, bit of topicality, oh, bit of fluff. Designer fluff, that is very trendy, yes. That is possession symbol of a happening social group. And what kind of happening social groups have we got today? Well, we've got yuppies, young, upwardly mobile professionals. We've got dinkies, double income, no kids. And we've got monkeys. 3 old geezers trying to make a comeback in a pop group. Yes, very topical, Ben. Well,
Give him a blankety blank checkbook and pen, somebody. What are we watching this for? It's 8 o'clock. I thought you said Elton was on now.
This is Elton.
Heck, his hair transplant must have taken.
It's Ben Elton, not Elton John. He's an alternative comedian.
Alternative comedian. We'll have more laughs from toothache. They wouldn't have lasted 2 minutes at Clitheroe Empire on a Saturday night. That was the only place you learned. Clitheroe Empire. Mind you, they used to throw things at comics in those days. Butter kissed, chalk ices, black pudding. If you didn't get a return booking, at least you got a square meal. What else is on?
Oh dear, oh dear. Characters?
Our regiment was full of them. I remember there was a wee Scotsman, Jock McTaggart. He kept complaining his cigarette was burning his tongue. Turned out the sergeant had asked him to smoke with the lit end in his mouth because of the air raids.
Oh dear, oh dear.
What do you do that for?
Well, it's old-fashioned, Tony Hancock. I want something modern. 1989, up front.
If you were any more up front, 1989 wouldn't be a year, it'd be your dress size. Not watching this. Let him do Clitheroe Pavilion like us old stagers had to. If you want to last in show business, you have to learn from people like me. Put me Elton LP on, will you?
Well, Elton John seems to have lasted all right. What did he learn from you?
It's obvious, isn't it? I gave him piano lessons.
That's the lot. Turn to the front, please, contestants, and you now write down as many of the continuity errors as you can. And while they get on with that, a thank you to Steve Coogan for the sketch. And here's a chance to see him again as we show you just what those 6 continuity errors were. Number 1 was the time. The clock was showing 9:15, but Les said...
It's 8 o'clock. I thought you said Elton was on now.
Then a deliberate costume error. Ben was wearing an ordinary tie at the beginning, but it changed early on to a bow tie. Next, the lamp on top of the television became one of a completely different type. And then a dialogue inaccuracy.
It wouldn't have lasted 2 minutes at Clitheroe Empire on a Saturday night.
But it wasn't the Empire later on.
Let him do Clitheroe Pavilion like us old stagers had to do.
Mrs. Dawson's knitting provided error number 5. It changed from blue to red. And finally, a major costume mistake. Les's cardigan had been unbuttoned for most of the sketch, but at the end, it was suddenly fastened up. Well, if you got all 6, you did extremely well, and indeed better than our contestants, although one almost got there. Here precisely is how they fared. Phil, you got 3 right. Carol, you also got 3 right. And Fiona, you did as well, so all 3 of you share second place, which means that Phil Smith wins it because he brilliantly spotted 5 errors. And right away, we shall enter all those points into the scoreboard, and that has helped Phil's cause. He's now within 2 points of the leader, who, with a Krypton factor of 26, is still the nursery nurse from Ilkeston, Derbyshire, Fiona Palmer. Round 4 and the race over one of the toughest assault courses in the country. The contestants have been preparing for it for the last 5 weeks, following a special training schedule prepared for them by the Army Physical Training Corps, who have also instructed the contestants on techniques to use for the various obstacles. Take your marks! Major Tony Carr starts the race. Cardiff's Carol Moffat nearest to us, and Fiona Palmer from Ilkeston, Derbyshire on the far side. And she is very fit, a fell runner, and also completed a mountain marathon which covered 50 kilometres and rose to a height of 4,000 feet. So she's obviously got lots and lots of stamina. Is nicely over that rope swing, has gone into the lead. Carol Moffat, who swims 50 lengths a day, also quite fit, is over. And now the 2 men. Nearest to us, Phil Kitely from Liverpool, the fire officer, and on the far side, Phil Smith from Hereford. He's a Welshman. And both nicely over there. Phil on the far side has completed 3 marathons and 10 half marathons. And Phil Kitely's also completed a marathon and a number of half marathons. Just look at the way he took that wall there. So stamina won't be a problem in this particular race. Fiona in the lead, and she doesn't let go of that rope, and that's a vital error. Every error you make on the various obstacles in this course costs you 5 seconds alone, but it also knocks you out of your stride, and it can take you several seconds to get back, just as Phil Kitely lost his feet there, and that cost him a few seconds and also a little bit of rhythm. But on the far side, Phil is level. Two Phils together here. It's going to be slightly difficult. I'll have to call them by their surnames all the way through. But Fiona hanging on to her lead at the moment, but these two men closing all the time. And going now towards, see, her legs have just gone a little bit. She's very tired as she goes towards that scramble net, and it's 30 feet up, so she can't be relishing the prospect, particularly as the two men are just on her ankles at the moment. And the two men absolutely together, and Fiona looks across just to check their position, and she can see they're right with her as they get to the top of that net. Quite a gusty wind blowing across as they go over, and it's Phil Kitely who goes into first place now. And indeed that net shouldn't be a problem for a fire officer. But Phil on the far side is now going in double strides down there, Phil Smith that is, and he's come level with Phil Kitely. So every little mistake means a change in the leadership here, and you can see Phil Kitely in red there made an error there, which has allowed Phil Smith to go ahead. Carol an error too, but she's way back in fourth place. Phil Smith a mistake this time, which has allowed Phil Kitely to come back virtually level. So really it's down to errors, and whoever makes the least is going to win this race as they come up to the top of the aerial slide now. And the hands slot into those safety loops. The soldiers will not let them go until they're securely fastened onto the pulley, and away they go, absolutely level. And Phil Smith on the far side lifts his legs to see if that'll give more speed, although it won't. It's how they put their feet down in the water that will count. And Phil Kitely in red does that best of all. You can see he gained a couple of yards there by holding his legs up just a little bit longer. And he's on his way now to the final flat net. Has he got this race won, or can Phil Smith come back at him? Under that flat net they go, and under, it's the technique that's going to count here, and also the strength. And it's Phil Smith on the far side who's beginning to edge ahead. Can he keep it going to the finish? Will his legs hold him? Here he goes down, his legs let him down, and he manages to pick himself up and come across the line, and he takes the 10 points. Phil Kitely, gallant run, second place, 6 points. Fiona back there in third place has kept going, and Carol out of it in fourth place, though she will get her 2 points. Here comes Fiona, battled away, but she was up against two very strong and very fit men, and she comes across in third place to get 4 points. But well done to the two Phils, that was a great race. And let's now enter the points won into the scoreboard, and we have a change at the top. The new leader with a Krypton factor of 34 is the Welshman from Hereford, Phil Smith. Well, the pressure's really on as we enter the penultimate round. The points here could decide the outcome of tonight's heat. And it's a civil engineering task this evening. Quite simply, we want the contestants to build the Clifton Suspension Bridge. The causeway is already in place on the banks of the Avon. They can complete the bridge by correctly assembling that array of different shapes and sizes. Are you all ready, contestants? The test starts now.
Clearly, the first move is to set in place the main foundations of the bridge, which will support the road and the suspension towers, just as Phil Kitely is doing there. The next logical step is to assemble the roadway, which isn't as easy as it sounds, because in this puzzle it's comprised of 4 irregular polygonal sections. And, well, that's one of them, which Fiona is correctly fitting. Phil Kitely has completed that roadway, which is good going, because that's one of the most difficult sections of the test. And there you see something of the problem. Carol grappling with some of those 4 pieces, which must be locked together in a unique way across the foundations of the bridge. And she hasn't quite achieved it yet. But Phil Smith has completed his roadway, and is now trying to work out how to build the 2 suspension towers, which is virtually a whole new puzzle. Fiona going well. She's got the base sections of the tower in place, with the archways there for the traffic. 8 blocks in all make up those towers, which lock into the roadway. Phil Kitely in 4th place going into the round, desperately wanting maximum points here. Now fitting that top section, just slotting it into place. And Carol has sorted her early problems out, but those top sections Well, they are correct as far as the puzzle's concerned, but aesthetically, the top section on the left should be the other way round. But that's clearly wrong. Phil Smith's base sections on both towers are incorrectly assembled and definitely not secure. And that's not as good as it looks either, because the two top sections should be switched over. But this looks good. Like the winner, indeed, Phil Kitely, with just the remaining cables to put in place. And they do. He's done it. 10 points. Brilliant. And just a few seconds behind, Carol Moffat, anxiously checking it, looking up to the adjudicator, but it's fine, and 6 valuable points to her. And it'll be Phil Smith third. He's sorted the towers out, slots in that last cable, and 4 points to him.
Well, I suppose you can call that something of a cliffhanger of a round, but our congratulations go to Phil there on a marvellous victory, good performance. And straight away we go to the scoreboard, and he certainly put himself back in the running. But the leader at the moment with a Krypton factor of 38 is the man from Hereford, Phil Smith. The 6th and last round, whoever wins will go through to the Group B final, and the current best runner-up score is 34, so that's the second target in this round. 100 seconds of rapid-fire questions to be answered on the buzzer, 2 points for the right answer and 2 points deducted for a wrong one. And for clarity, Phil Kitely in red will be called Phil and Phil Smith will be Philip. The clock starts now. A statue of a little mermaid on a rock is a tourist attraction in Philip.
Copenhagen.
Correct. After winning the Battle of Copenhagen in 1801, which sailor was made a Viscount? Answer is Horatio Nelson. Which singer whose surname is Nelson is backed by the Revolution and had a hit with 1999? Philip.
Prince.
Correct. Which prince has, since 1949, been head of state of Monaco? Fiona.
Rainier.
Correct. Who won the Best Actor Oscar for Rain Man in March this year? Philip.
Dustin Hoffman.
Correct. Tales of Hoffman and Orpheus in the Underworld were composed by which musician? Answer is Offenbach. How often does a hebdomadal consul meet? Answer is once a week. A weak solution of acetic acid is called what in cookery? Fiona.
Vinegar.
Correct. Which book has been published in editions called Vinegar, Breeches, Treacle, Geneva and King James? Carol.
The Bible.
Correct. The Cricketer's Bible is a nickname used for which? Philip.
Done.
Correct. According to the proverb, it's a wise child that knows what? Fiona.
Its own mother.
No, its own father. Who is the father of Fifi Trixabel and Peaches and husband of Paul? Fiona.
Paul Geldof.
Correct. Gelderland, Friesland and Utrecht are provinces of which? Philip.
Netherlands.
Correct. With which sport do you associate Dutchman Joop Zoetemelk and the Frenchman Laurent Fignon and Jacques Philippe?
Cycling.
Correct. For what purpose medically are cyclopropane, halothane and novocaine used? Phil.
Anaesthetic.
Correct. And that's it, the end of the round, the end of the contest. And the winner tonight with a fantastic Krypton factor of 50 is the youth service team leader from Hereford, Phil Smith. Well, a tremendous last round from Phil Smith, and our warmest congratulations to him on a magnificent victory. We'll now be seeing him again in our Group B final in a fortnight's time. And we could also see Fiona there as well, as she now has the best runner-up score of 36 points. And that's the lot for this evening. We shall be back next week at the usual time of 7 o'clock with the final heat in this section. Do join us for that. In the meantime, from all the contestants here and from me, good night.